So welcome to the Courageous Nerd YouTube channel. My name's Connor and I'm joined today by Mirabelle Lee. Mirabelle, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How's your day?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, how are things for you like generally in your part of the world?
It's going good. I'm currently in LA and yeah, it's going great here. It's kind of cold, but not cold enough to be considered cold.
Right, yeah. A very warm cold. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice, I
yeah.
guess. Yeah,
In LA cold, 60 degrees.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, and people might know you obviously as like a young, like, do you prefer actor or actress? Like, do you have a preference on which one you go by?
Either,
Either
either is
or.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess as a young actress, you've done a few projects, but what made you want to like pursue this kind of career in the first place? Like, who or what inspired you to do that?
So, first I started off as a model when I was 3 years old. So I didn't get into this industry be like, oh mom, I wanna model, I wanna act because like I was like 3 years old. But basically my modeling agent, they saw an audition for this one film called Blood Ties, and they were like,
Right.
I think the girls should audition for this. So even though I've never acted a day before that, I went in. Me and my sister Anae, we went in and we auditioned, and we ended up booking the role. So
Mm.
we shared the role of Janie in the film Blood Ties alongside Zoe Saldana. Me and my sister are twins, by the way, so that's how we shared the
Right.
role.
Sure. Okay.
But I was 5 years old around that time, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but all I knew is that whatever I was doing was so much fun. I wanted to continue on doing it. So ever since then, I've just been going on I just been going on different auditions, booking different things. I just been acting ever since, and
Mm.
it's been amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And obviously coming up, you're in Slapface on Shudder, which comes out on February 3rd. And I guess for anyone who's interested, that's actually today as when we're recording this. And like, how would you describe, I guess, the project and the role you play in it?
Mhm. So Slapface is definitely one of the most interesting projects I've ever done because it's a horror film, but it's not just oh boo scary. Like it
Mm.
goes much deeper than that. Like where it tackles like issues like bullying and even abuse and like grief and loss. So that's why I love it so much. And my character Moriah, she is so interesting. I think I had the most fun playing her just because we were so different.
Mm.
Because if I had to describe Moriah, she's a bit two-faced because
Okay.
because I'm very sorry. Okay, sorry. But by day, she is Lucas's bully, where she's chasing
Mm.
him through the woods, throwing stones at him, even spitting on him at one point. But by
Mm.
night, she's his girlfriend, and they go on little like dates together. So it was very, very interesting tackling their relationship and finding that balance between love and hate between them.
Yeah.
So I loved being a part of this project. I'm so excited that everyone can finally see it.
Absolutely. And from what you described, it sounds like a very, well, an atypical character dynamic in the first place. But obviously, as you say, it's a horror film, and that's a very like well explored genre to say the least. But what do you think makes this film stand out in particular? Like, what do you think makes it, yeah, sets it apart from other horror films?
What I think sets it apart is that it won't just leave you like screaming and like clutching your seat being all scared, but it'll also leave you crying. Like I know when my mom told me when she watched it for the first time, she was super scared, like double checking over her shoulder for the witch to come get her. But at the
Mm.
same time, she was also had a box of tissues near her because she was crying over Lucas's story and Tom's story and even Mariah's story. So I think that's what sets it apart from other horror films is that the end, even especially the ending. I'm not gonna say the ending for
Right.
spoilers, but you'll be scared, you'll be on the edge of your seat, but you'll also have tears streaming down your face. So that's what I love most about it.
Absolutely. Would you say, as far as like the actual acting aspect goes, are you always someone who, regardless of what your character's like, you can kind of relate or kind of understand their side? Because obviously you said that your character's a bit of a bully, so like, I mean, are you able to kind of connect with her even in that kind of context? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I always, when every single time I approach a character, I always think of, do I know anyone? Do I know anyone who's similar to this? So I knew someone who was kind of similar to Moriah. So I just kind of, based on my experiences with that person, I just kind of channeled that person in a way to be able to portray her, since, as I said previously, we are very different from each other. But I also tried to come up with like backstories, just like random information that, like, for example, her second favorite food, I just try to like, I just come up with like a bunch of random information, random facts about her, just to create a full person and not just have like a surface level character, like, oh, she's kind of fake, she's two-faced, but not, and I don't just keep it as that. I make a full person when I'm portraying her. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you would have done this in this film in particular, but I've certainly seen people say about like actors in like films or series, oh, that's clearly like a personal choice because like this thing doesn't make sense in like the wider context of the scene, but you can kind of tell, oh, this is what they think the character should be doing. Like, is that something that you would ever do, or do you kind of like it's more like thinking as opposed to actually doing it like on camera?
Oh wait, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Oh no, sure. Like obviously, like I've seen like people say about actors like in films and series, like maybe doing certain things that might not make sense in the context of the scene. So like you're kind of saying, oh, that's obviously like a personal choice. Like, would you ever do that on camera? Or it's just more kind of thinking like, oh, this is what I would imagine that they would do, sort of thing.
Yeah. Our director and writer, Jeremiah Kipp, he allowed us to go off script a lot of times, he wanted us to make the character, the scenes like our own. So a lot of the time when like me and August would be doing scenes together, we would go off script, we would say other lines that just weren't a part of it, just to make it seem more like real, more, and just like more us, So that a lot on set.
Absolutely. And you might have to correct me if I'm wrong here, because I mean, I think I'm a pretty good fact checker, but if I get any of this wrong, let me know, feel free. But I believe you've been on like, as a guest star on shows like Veep, The Blacklist, and Madam Secretary, right? Is that all correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And like, I guess, do any of those experiences stand out? Like, do you have a favorite guest star role that you've done?
Okay, let me think. Ooh. I think definitely one of my favorite guest star roles that I've done was either The Blacklist or Be Positive. So with The Blacklist, I did that with my sister as well. We shared that role as well, and it was really cool because it was I first into the scene I got shot. So it was like it was an emotional roller coaster filming it, but I love doing roles where I get to cry and to be like, just super dramatic, because that's just always, I don't know, it's just the most fun for me. That's why I love doing Slapface so much.
Yeah.
But I also love doing comedy roles. So doing a guest role on Be Positive, where I played the role of Bella. That was really fun because it was just like typical teenage rebelliousness, if that's a word. But but yeah, it was just really fun. I got to do it with one of my friends, and I don't know, they're very, very different experiences, but each was definitely one of my favorites.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned that you've done like modeling in the past, but in terms of like in your future, do you have any interest in like pursuing other areas that kind of connected to acting, like whether like writing, directing, producing? Is that something that you see yourself doing? Or
yeah, I'm a very big writer, so I would love to write a script one day, or just help in the writing process of any projects any projects that I would be doing, because I love writing and I would love to be able to do that. And I would also love to explore producing as well.
Mm.
I think another one of my dreams, I think my main dream is just to be an actress, but if I would also like to be a part of maybe like the casting process or just like the producing process.
Sure. I mean, do you think having those kind of interests inform like your acting, like obviously having an understanding of writing kind of helps you understand
Mhm.
what a writer of a script is trying to get across?
Yeah. That's why in college I want to like do something with screenwriting because
Mm.
um I want to like be able to understand scripts like from a writer's perspective and also an actor's perspective, so I can just like get both sides and just like put my complete like this whole completeness into the role. You know, if that makes any sense. That
Mm.
probably doesn't really make sense,
Oh
but
no, it does. It does. Yeah.
I want to get like both perspectives, and it I think that would also like help with diving into characters as well.
Absolutely. And I suppose that speaking of diving into characters to make kind of a segue, I mean, other than Slapface, are there any other upcoming projects you can talk about this time?
Yeah, I have an upcoming uh show that I'm working on right now. I can't say anything about, um, but it's super exciting. And this project is it's been like a dream project I've been wanting to do since I was like a little girl. So
Right.
it's really cool seeing all of the pieces and parts come together, and I'm really excited to announce it when I finally can.
For sure, for sure. And I guess obviously anyone, watching this in this interview, make sure to look out for it when it happens. Absolutely. I suppose actually just to wrap this up with my last question, and it's just like more in a general sense, but because we're only just really into 2022, but what do you hope to accomplish or go after with the rest of this year?
For this year, I think I just want to work on more projects, dive into new characters, and
Mm.
another one of my New Year's resolutions is to get more involved in charity as well, because when I used to live in Philadelphia, and when I lived
Right.
on the East Coast, I was like very involved in the charities there. I donated all the time, but since I moved out to LA, I don't really know many of the charities here, so I want to like figure those out and figure out the ones that I love and I want to work with. So that's definitely a New Year's resolution that I want to work on.
Absolutely. And obviously, like, best of luck, with that, with Slapface, and just in general, like, going forward. And, thanks again for taking the time, Mirabelle. All the best. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you. You too.